Hello and welcome to episode 166 of the Book Wars Pod. We are.
Oh, nice.
I know, right? What the fuck? We are continuing our read of Queen's Hope by E.K. Johnston, which is the third and final book in her Padme trilogy. And yeah, I apologize in advance because I feel like a lot of the topics that at least I wrote down have to do with dudes, even though this is a Padme book. So get ready for like fucking feral
Oh my
raccoon talk.
god. He
Kate
amazing.
famously
Fuck off.
hates women.
I know. I just despise them. I am here with Chris is pressing the fucking buttons again. God help us all. And also Rana and Miranda. And what are we all drinking this week? I'm gonna ask Ron. I'm putting you on the spot because I just told you to take a sip.
That's fine. Yeah. I don't know what's. I mean, I know what's wrong with me. What it is, my body wants to go back to homeostasis. I had a work trip last week, and there was a lot of drinking. Like, not. It's not problem levels, but it was like, oh, we did like a birthday dinner. And then the next night I caught up with friends. And then also one day, one of my friends had like a very boozy brunch, so to call it or whatever. So, and then I got stuck in the airport for like 5 hours and my work laptop was broken. And I was like, well, there's only one thing to do here and it's read and drink. So I guess that's two things. I'm doing great here. Anyways, I just opened this, but because I had that much alcohol those days, I just haven't really been feeling alcohol since I got back. But I'm not a quitter. So I for this episode, I did get a drink to drink for it. I was like, I should just do water.
Meh.
But then I was like, I have a fridge full of things I need to drink. So
There you
I'm
go.
having a hard kombucha because I just wasn't really in like a taste like alcohol mood.
There you go.
I'm also just tired. I've never had this before, and I got it to have a non-beer option when I go hiking with friends, but then I decided, fuck it, I'll drink it instead. It's hard kombucha from June Shine. It has this cool can that has, it's like, it reminds me a lot of, if anyone knows the Tahitian photographer who's on Instagram as Rava Ray, and she does like a ton of underwater photography.
Yes.
She had like a famous
So cool.
training video a while ago of like a rock. And yeah, anyways, it's cool. Of a rock, not the rock. Yeah, don't get your Pacific Islands confused, people. It's racist. But anyways, it has this cool like artwork. We know I love the ocean. Also, side note, the woman on the can is like so photoshopped it looks like her back is breaking and it makes me sad.
She looks like a mermaid, but with people legs.
But also her back is like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's very,
from the
it's painful.
mermaiding.
No, I see. So the flavor is guava, yuzu, pineapple, Hawaiian sea salt, green tea. Oh God, why am I drinking this before bed? Which even though I mean I knew it was kombucha and June kombucha. It says put your mind at ease with Ocean Squeeze, a new signature hard kombucha. Inspired by deep diving to find the calm below the surface, this bright batch of booch, I hate when they call it booch, is twice brewed with a tropical blend of juicy guava, yuzu, and perfect pinch of Hawaiian red lava sea salt. Know that, oh, this is cool. I didn't know this. I feel better. Sip in peace, knowing that 4% of sales are donated to Pepe Ohea. May the Zen never lend. May
Nice.
the Zen never end, not lend. I don't know. It's a little appropriative, but at least they're supporting a Pacifica-owned nonprofit. So
One in a row.
that was a long response. I'm like fixated on this can with these fish.
It's really pretty. Take a picture.
I will.
Yeah,
I'll pass it back.
I'll post it on the pod. That's how that works.
I also need everyone to know that Orca's in Kate's lap right now. First of all, Argo says every time I say Orca, he looks at me like I've stabbed him because he hung out with him for a whole week. But
I
also,
know.
Orca looks like what little kids think their rabbit will look like when they buy one that they then usually don't have for long. But anyways, Orca's super cute. His giant ear is being pet, and he's essentially a stuffed animal come to life. I'll pass it over to Burb.
I had some beers earlier, 2 of them, and then I was gonna get another one, and then I was like, you know what? I'm not feeling it. So I now have 2 beverages. Neither are beer. It is a yellow can party over here because I have a squirt
Nice.
and I have a
fucking Lord in heaven.
okay. I have a lemon polar.
Hell yeah.
The worst flavor.
Ooh, spicy.
I mean, maybe to white people.
It's not. God damn it. What is seltzer but spicy water?
Well done.
Oh god.
Thank
Bless
you.
the fuck up. All right, white man, what the fuck you got?
I have a peach flavored Wild Basin
it
hard
spicy?
seltzer. It's
That's
not
also
actually.
spicy.
It's
'Cause it's
actually
seltzer.
it's quite smooth.
It's quite smooth, y'all.
Chris famously thinks watermelon is spicy. To his
This
immune
is
system.
not true. my my fucking allergen sensor or whatever the fuck think watermelon is spicy.
Oh my fucking god. What are you doing?
I'm trying to see if it has any like bullshit can copy about like real Colorado peaches, which it doesn't seem to, which is a little bit lame. But
I don't know.
whatever.
I think that's fine. I'm not upset by that.
Listen, we are the real peach state.
Oh my god.
Come
here
at
we
me.
go. Here we go. Anyway, so I have as Ron said, I have a dog in my lap. Because this is the only way I can keep him today from eating garbage while we're recording and not chasing him around the house. So if you hear loud snoring and or jingling or whatever weird shit, that is my dog. I don't know how to say this. It's the beer that you left in my house, Rana, when we did our John Wick marathon.
Oh yeah.
Lugels?
Leinenkugel.
Oh, it's a K! Thank you.
I think. I don't know.
font-
Wait,
Maybe
what's
not.
what's Leinenkugel doing?
Oh, I
Sorry,
don't
the
know. Miranda
font,
knows German. I don't.
the fucking font made it so that I was like, is this an
Oh, we
L
can't
and an
read
I,
Leinenkugel?
or is that a K? No, like I'm the fucking illiterate piece of shit who thought that.
Are you drinking a Radler? I don't know what's happening. I had to step away to deal with my.
No, I didn't explain what the beer was. I'm saying that I'm fucking
see.
illiterate, and I couldn't tell like the D in Disney was a D until I was like,
It's not my fault.
really old. Anyway, so like I said, Rana brought these over when we were doing our John Wick marathon a few weeks ago. This is juicy peach, refreshing and tart, natural peach flavor. These are. Oh yeah, it is a K because they have like it written in regular fucking font that I can fucking read on the back. Kugel's Juicy Peach is a refreshing and easy drinking beer that balances delicious sweetness from natural peach juice with subtle tart notes. This approachable, thirst quenching beer is packed with flavor and sure to please your palate with its smooth finish. Thanks, guys. Anyway,
Everyone should know I only brought that because the liquor store I went to had very few options and it was a warm day and I was like, wheat beer. This isn't a wheat beer, but it has fruit in it.
So
good.
it
You're
counts.
welcome.
it's good.
Love that.
Yes.
Don't. Fucking A. All right, stop Chris from fucking pressing more buttons. Our charity for this book is Transformations KC, which you can find at transformationskc.org. They are a trans people of color led organization focused on capacity building and leadership development among trans communities of color, particularly youth without traditional systems of support in Missouri, Kansas, and the Ozark Mountain region of northern Arkansas. So, doing great stuff, especially for young people. So, give them money. I just saw today that I can't remember off the top of my head now what organization it was because I'm a goldfish, but I saw that there was a trans organization that issued a travel advisory for trans people to not go to Florida. So things are going great. Give trans people money.
Give trans people
Yay.
money.
Yes. Chris, this is where you wish you had that Kristen finally made the you gotta give
I'm
button.
I tell her literally every week. Season 3 is going to be out, and we're still not going to have that drop.
Season 3
Listen.
comes out soon.
It does.
End of the month.
Yeah.
Mhm.
End of next month. Still April.
Whatever.
It's like it is the end of the
time it
month
is.
now.
Shh, it's fine.
Math.
Speaking of being rude, want to start off with this first topic here. So yeah, we're just gonna dive into this. I feel like maybe I feel like there are people in the fandom who just do not like this author who have made more of this than might be there, but also I think it's worth talking about. Um, Padme's prejudice with Neimoidians, I feel like, is a thing worth talking about. As y'all know, if you are a literate person who watches the Star War, they sure do love equating species with real racial groups and then doing some stereotypes, which are just lovely and delicious for everyone. This one hits close to home because Neimoidians are just horrible caricatures of greedy Chinese people. So that's neat. Um, so yeah, I feel like that like in several of the books, there's been talk about like, well, Padme doesn't really like Neimoidians, and neither do the other handmaidens on account of what the Trade Federation did to Naboo and stuff. And also, I'm just like, I I feel like this book tries to address it a little bit in terms of the dude who wants to be a quote unquote good Neimoidian, but also I'm just like, this is so uncomfortable and I want to like throw myself off a roof. So I want to know how y'all felt about having the full scope of like the series. Like what is this looking like for y'all?
I love how Padme has such a classic white girl moment where she's like, I don't love the way that I feel when I see these people. I'm like, we have a word for that, actually. Hate to break it to you.
Oh,
But it just
man.
seems like exactly the sort of thing that I can imagine, like those white people who are so racist that they like drive by a person of color and lock their car door. And just imagine them like, you know, doing that on their way back from like a protest they took a selfie at and being like, I don't love that I did that. You're so close to self-awareness, but
I know.
It's just
know.
living in Portland.
no, I'm thinking of that lady, that white lady who got out of her car and like yelled at that native dude to go back from where he came from, and then was like, "I'm trying to help you."
What?
Oh, didn't I? That was in
I
Portland.
didn't see that. No.
Oh,
What a
that was
nightmare.
interesting. It was like the sort of video where you just watch it and you just want to like fight the person in the video so bad. It's just like the just condescending tone. I don't know. I'll send it later in our signal, but it was very annoying.
Go
Yeah,
back
big-
to where you came from. Please help
Well,
me.
then he just has like a breakdown and he's like, "Where do you want me to go?"
Who could blame him? Fuck. Good shit. Burb, were you about to say something?
Oh no. I didn't know.
Good.
I didn't notice anything before this book. And
Oh, interesting.
was it
I-
there at
About
all?
which thing? Oh, like things
Like the
people said.
Neimoidians
I
being
think
around.
there was like a throwaway line in Queen's Shadow, and I realized we read that like years and years and years ago. But like there was this line where, you know, Padme's just kind of like, I don't like these people, and I'm just like, oh my fucking god. So yeah, it is uncomfortable for me the way that she and also like Sakya are just kind of like, and these people who did these horrible war crimes are also representative of this entire fucking species and of which there are however so many, probably million billions, and I'm just like,
Of course. That's how it
I
works, right?
yeah, absolutely. And I don't know whether that is a character fault of Padme's or the writing or both.
I feel like this could have been written without the Neimoidians.
Yeah, or at least like keeping the like, it's not racial isn't the right word because it's a species, but like, you know what I mean, like keeping that aspect out of it. Like they could, like the Trade Federation, like aside from the fact that they've been kind of like pigeonholed in this fucking spot by canon. If we can ignore that, which I can't, but like if we can pretend I can ignore that, like I feel like it could have just been left to this political realm of like they are funding bad things and not they are bad. And I feel like that's like the equivalency is being made that like they are bad, and I'm just like, okay, I don't like it.
Well, also like I don't know. There were a couple maybe throwaway things that I didn't think were so throwaway.
Mm-hmm.
in this all were like, one, all of us have, well, maybe not all of us, but many of us have at some point been assumed to be representatives of all of our people. And the idea that one person is like, we're trying to make up for our bad
Oh
by doing
yeah.
this thing. And then she's like, oh, cool, I'll go back to the Senate and like this will make all the difference. And I'm like, well, one, like, why, what is this philosophy? The
Yes.
other thing is then there's this weird line, and I really do love this author. I think she's
Yes.
great. And also, there is this weird line about how Padme says, "Oh, I didn't know you were freeing slaves. Like, why are you free? How does this fit into your strategy?" And then the Nemoidian says, "Well, there's some tricky stuff in my family history. It doesn't take a lot to fill in the gaps, and now I'm doing my part." And that
Right.
just brought me back to all the times. Like, I don't want to go too into my personal life here, but I work in philanthropy. And so I have met at I work at a great organization, and this does not happen here. But I have been in spaces with people in philanthropy who have that exact thing happen, who are like, I found out that my great great grandfather owned slaves. And now, sorry if you just heard Argos groan, he's also irritated by whiteness.
It's okay.
and
Orca's just been like snorting into the fucking microphone, so that's
Aw.
good.
Argos is just getting his husky genes out.
Baby.
But it's really a thing that happens all the time. And it's like, yes,
Mhm.
there is accountability for folks who have specifically benefited, for whiteness in general, for like the nation being built in this way, hashtag reparations or whatever. But like, I also think it's kind of, when you read this, it just kind of, I don't know if I'm supposed to feel sympathy or empathy for this Nemoidian, but instead I just feel like, oh, you're like that person who's like, hee hee, my grandparents owned slaves. Sorry, now I'm better. I fixed it.
Yes.
And it made me kind of uncomfortable.
Yes. That, and then like almost on the flip side of that coin, just the idea that this one dude has to like redeem his entire species for these white women, these white human women, and I'm just
Exactly.
like, I am uncomfortable. And like you said, like I love, like, I love Kate's writing. She's a great author. She's a great person, and also we all have room to grow. And I feel like I would be remiss if I not talking about this, because it does. Yeah, it gets awkward. I feel like it's just it's it's not handled with a great deal of finesse. I feel like, and probably could have benefited from like a sensitivity reader or something like that. Like I wish that more eyes of non-white people had been on this manuscript than there clearly were.
White women be white womening,
Yes.
even when they're good ones.
Yes.
I'm going to jump in and say one thing that also slightly irritated me about this book.
Stop inserting yourself. No, I'm kidding. What?
Is that and I think part of this is that the book is so short and they needed content. But one thing that Kate Johnston has said many times on panels and in interviews and various things is that one of the characters that she finds most interesting in Star Wars is Shmi. And when the immediate follow-up is always asked, would you want to write that book? She says a white person should not write that book because Shmi is a slave, and like I do not have the range, nor does anybody else. And yet this book starts with Shmi. And that having heard her say that multiple times, that irritated me.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I hadn't remembered that she had said that.
Just continuing with my theory, which I'll talk about in the wrap, that there is not one line of this book that I'm convinced Kate Johnston actually wanted to write.
Nice.
Certainly that line about Anakin having less self-control than like a deranged
Okay, that
gunbird
one
or
she probably
whatever,
wanted to.
She definitely wanted to write.
That is my favorite line in the whole book, easily. The subtlety of the Drunken Gundam. Fucking A! So that's good. I don't know if there's anything else more to say on this topic other than, I don't know, do better, but do better. So here we are. Cool. Since we invoked the fucking feral raccoon, let's let's do it. Okay, first of all, I was reading this book last night, and Chris was trying to go to sleep, and I got to the part where Anakin just kind of like busts into Padme's bedroom while Sabe is like trying to like have a good drunk nap, and I almost started shrieking. I like, which is your favorite thing when for me when you're trying to go to sleep.
Yeah, me and Orca both really enjoy it.
But I was just like, yeah, I just good noises. Just please help me with this fucking character. I just don't. I can't take him seriously.
He fucking rolls up, and I'm honestly surprised that this interaction didn't go a lot worse than it did, because Anakin is a feral raccoon.
It's like, oh, good, you only force choked her and didn't slice her in half with your lightsaber. Cool.
Yeah, he's like, I need answers. Choke.
Which is, Chris has added on the side in the side chat in the Google Docs. Sabe still has all her hands. Great. It's one person in Star Wars.
I'm not gonna lie, when I read the scene, I was like, 1, deeply uncomfortable.
Yep.
2, again, no hate to E.K. Johnson. I'm sorry if you keep hearing Argos make his husky groans. They're very loud right now. But it kind of just felt like a weird, like a fan fiction scene, where I was just like, this does, like, don't get me wrong, all the EU books all felt like bad fan fiction, right? Like, this does not mean it's not Star Wars. A lot of the joy of these books is that it's kind of like has some fan fiction vibes,
for sure.
And also, I did not feel like I was reading an official book for this.
Yeah.
That was seen. I was like,
yeah. Can you say more about that? Like what
I think it was
the
yeah. I think partially just because I'm a bad person, and also because which is fair no matter what. Sorry, Argos is. What are you doing? Okay, he's playing with a Star Wars toy, so it's perfect for the podcast.
Nice. Topical.
Very topical. It's a Christmas Darth Vader toy that I got from a Secret Santa, and I will never know who. But anyways, I think part of it was like just the way that it happened. Like, it did remind me of like tropes you would absolutely read in fan fiction of like he entered the room and said nothing. And I mean, the only way it would be worse is if he'd like immediately gone to bed. Like, that is the way it would have been even worse.
That's what I thought was gonna happen.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, God.
I thought that was about to go down. I was
I
like,
thought at
fuck
first
this.
that she was pretending that she wasn't there, and that's totally what I thought was about to happen. And I was like, but this is Sabe, no. But then thankfully she said something. But yeah, so I think that component of it, and then also just the like, I actually can't leave and I have to sleep here. Like, I understand there were reasons,
Oh my
but
God,
that
there's
whole
only
like forced
one bed.
sleepover of like,
yeah.
exactly, the only one bed, and also like this idea of like, I understand that it gave her the context she needed to find out about their marriage, and also it was just kind of, I don't know, it was like, oh, you're stuck in the room with the person who wound up with the person that you're in love with, and now they can't leave, and you're just gonna have to awkwardly sit here together without speaking, knowing you hate each other.
There's a lot of weird shit going on.
It's very
that
the ex
scene.
dealing with the new boyfriend like vibes as well, and it's like so
It's
Exactly
awkward.
Yeah.
I was uncomfortable, and also gay screaming, but
Mm-hmm.
because at one point Anakin straight, I don't know if it's in this scene or like the one at the temple, he's like, I'd be mad if I were you. Because she picked me, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Like, no, like, and Sapphire has this moment where she's just like, Padme can love more than one person, and like, and in different ways, and Anakin's just like, sure she can, and I was just like, what is wrong with you? Like, is that very in keeping with his character? Absolutely, and also, I think I said this last episode, but I really wish that like the story group and canon had just like would let people write about how this relationship is so fucking abusive. Because it is.
Yeah.
There's like no other way to frame it as it's, been portrayed thus far. Like, Anakin is just like super controlling and just like and jealous and just all this other stuff, and he's just, oh god, it's so uncomfortable.
Like, how
I
is he making no effort to get to know the person he knows Padme loves like
Right.
most in this whole world? Sorry, go ahead, Bert.
I took a picture of this when I was reading, obviously, to send to Kate and scream.
Mm-hmm.
He says, you're angry. That doesn't bother me. I'd be angry too if she picked you over me.
That's
Which,
not.
like,
No. Anakin
that's
has
gay.
never
But
listened.
also,
Anakin has never listened to the Spice Girls. Okay.
he did not get with her friends.
No. Mm-hmm.
Also, at the end, when Padme finally gets back and Sabe's like, Padme fucking is like, oh yeah, so like some weird shit went down on Tatooine. She was like, that was him. And she's like,
Oh my.
yeah, and then we went on Geonosis and then we got married.
I do appreciate that Sabe is all of us, and she's just like, oh fucking K, that's totally normal. It's not normal. Like it's just.
It's not normal.
If
And
we are
again,
sort of
like, oh
Go ahead.
sorry. Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I understand that, Kate probably couldn't address it because they wouldn't let her, but like, God, that
it
honestly,
is canon.
yeah, but like, God, that is just so ripe for like just like so much about like interesting character relationships and what have you. Anyway, Rana, you were saying.
Oh no, I was going to say something extremely similar. I was just thinking like it did remind I don't know why I can't talk here, but it did remind me of like for everyone who's had friends in abusive relationships, when you do get kind of driven away, and it's a part of the process. It's a part of the ostracization,
Mm-hmm.
and that that question that Sabe wrestles with, even though in this instance the abuse is not as obvious for her or for those involved, it's still absolutely an abusive dynamic, even if it's not out on the page. And that question of like, how do I show up as a friend and be there for my friend when I know my friend doesn't want me to be here for this situation? I actually think, I know we have this later in the outline, but it makes her, I don't know if it counts as a friend breakup, but it essentially is a friend breakup.
It's a friend breakup.
Yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
makes that so much harder. Like just reading that, it's a sad thing to read. And I'm not particularly invested in this trilogy. I think it's fun, but I don't have like the emotional connection of like all of them because I, briefly read them quickly for our pod. But also it just kind of I don't know, my brain just turned off and I forgot what I was going to say, but that's a half of it, and eventually I'll remember the other half and I'll say something. Do I? It's almost there. Go ahead, someone else talk and it'll come back. We all
Good.
pubs.
I mean, we can
I was
we
gonna-
can
Oh, I
transition
remembered. I
that.
remembered.
Oh,
Okay.
there we go. And
I
hope
said
so.
this last time, but like, it does make Padme's storyline even more, I guess, depressing to read, because seeing all of the ways that people try to be there and the way that people start sort of backing out and knowing what's going to happen. It's like in the first couple chapters, I thought when she would say like, "Oh, we'll have all this time later," I was always like, actually, you're not.
Actually,
You're gonna
you
get
don't.
sad."
It's like
And but then in this half, I just felt really like I was watching in slow motion, like, when you watch a documentary about something and they like have all the footage from the day of or whatever before everything happens. That's just kind of how it feels reading this, because you just see people slowly backing up and being really uncomfortable with the dynamic. You see Padme making bad choices about the dynamic,
Mhm.
and then you realize like, oh my god, eventually you're going to be heavily pregnant with nowhere to go and no one who you feel like you can turn to, even though you probably could have turned to them. And then you're going to
Mhm.
get force choked. I don't know why I couldn't say that. It wasn't an impression of force choking. But like, you're going to get force choked as a pregnant woman, and then you're going to die.
I know.
And
Like
that's
there's
it. It's
there's
over.
like what could have been so interesting. And again, this is not a knock on the author because like there's nothing she could do here. But like what could have been so interesting is just like, showing that like I don't know, like abuse doesn't just happen to like a certain type of person, like she is like so successful and smart and then and this can still happen to her. And I think that could be just like such an important story to tell, but like they're never gonna fucking do that. So I'm just gonna be angry.
Absolutely.
So that's great.
Yay.
Yay. So, please. There's this moment where I think where Sabe is like, obviously it's been 10 years, but she's like, this is not the like adorable small child that I met on Tatooine. What the fuck happened?
Nope.
And I just wanted to discuss like what the fuck did happen? Like how did like in your mind, like how did we get here? How did we become a rabbit raccoon?
I'm ready.
Yes, go.
Actually, wait, hold on. Sorry, I had an air bubble because I just drank some kombucha.
She wasn't ready.
Here's my thought on this.
Wasn't
I
ready,
wasn't
folks.
ready. Famously, like always, I'm never ready. So I'm late all the time. So one, I don't think it does well for a child's psyche and their self-awareness to tell them repeatedly that they're the chosen one. I
Good.
also think
Yeah.
when you go, hey, I can buy your freedom, but not your mom's, and I have almost infinite resources. Okay, bye. That doesn't really help, right? Like there's a lot of trauma. The Jedi aren't huge on therapy, right? Sometimes you gotta talk to Yoda. It's
No
not really
space therapy.
right. What was it before sit in egg? Like that's what he does later. He tries.
My therapeutic egg.
Right. And then so I think that's a lot of it, right? Is like I think his brain yeah, there were a lot of ways he really just needed some psychological help. And then he's also a man,
Yes.
Fuck them,
famously not
boys.
great. But I think having the Force like at a time when the Jedi are on top of the world with very little checks and balances, like I don't think he ever really had to develop a sense of checking himself beyond control my emotions, which he can't even do.
He can't
No.
He's
even
like
do
storming
that.
out as a grown ass adult,
I know.
storming out in front of politicians and things.
The Jedi are terrible, as we all know. And like it's super fucked up that they just steal babies and like start training them from them so they can never have connections. And like, a lot of them were opposed to Anakin starting training because they were like, he has a mom
Mm-hmm.
whom he knows. And they were like, fuck it, he's the chosen one. Let's do this. But then they never addressed that again.
Yes.
Like, oh, you still have all of these feelings about um this guy like buying your freedom, not buying your mom's, and then dying in front of you.
like a normal. It was
Well, and like they address it a tiny bit at the end or in some point in Phantom Menace, right? When like Yoda meets with him and he's like, of course, thank God it's been a while since I've watched the Phantom Menace, I'm happy to say. But like
Lordy.
there's that scene where Yoda's like, oh, you're afraid for your mom. Like you gotta learn to turn that off, kid.
They do
No.
not give him any resources to help him
No.
learn how to do
Denial.
that. Also, like
It's just denial.
it's his mom, man. Like he's gonna feel that way, and then you're gonna let his emotions go unchecked. So he's like, "Oh, guess I'll murder this village
Listen,
with my future wife in tow." She'll still marry me.
Yoda's a motherless green frog, and he doesn't care about anything. Okay, he just hates everything. What was I going to say? Two things. One thing that I think that I'm pretty sure I found this on Tumblr way back in the day when before Tumblr got rid of the porn. So that's how old this is. But somebody was like writing up a thing about like the linguistics of being a Jedi and how that probably also contributed to fucking Anakin up, and the fact that like he had to address his like elders or whatever you want to call them as master and spent his entire life previous to that as a slave, and no one talks about that because the series has been heavily written by white men, and why would we ever talk about that? The other thing, which is like tangentially related to this but is like probably a subject for another day, is just like, if you're not a human, or even if you come from a planet that has very like, I don't know. I mean, I suppose that theoretically every planet has a distinct culture, but you know what I mean. Like, how do you learn that? Like, how do you like figure out who you are as a being if you have like no connection to that? I was reading I was reading a fan fiction about like Ayla Sakura like growing up, and like how does like how does she like like take like, I don't know, feel like a Twi'lek basically if she has no connection to her culture besides the fact that she is a Twi'lek, and I'm just like, fuck, like, it was like, I mean, and it was framed in a really like interesting way in terms of like being part of a diaspora almost, which was really cool. And I'm like, man, I wish they like actually address this like sort of shit canon.
Yeah.
We'll see how
Well-
we'll see how it goes in the future, but
Yeah, and the thing with that too is like the the Jedi Temple where they keep all of these children,
Mhm.
the magic kiddos, it's like a very sterile kind of environment. Like it's very reading culture off of a page, maybe. If their
Mhm.
education is that well rounded. And again, it's him like, having a real shitty life on Tatooine. Like he didn't get to have the full experience, obviously. But there was something like he was familiar with it. That's how I don't know the words for this. Um, but like he went from an environment where like this is a real place to just white walls, no actual physical writing, only hollows.
yeah. Other things that I feel like are contributing factors is just Palpatine just watching his career with great interest, and also just like I feel like this is hinted at more in some of the books and maybe in the comics, how closely Palpatine is sort of like mentoring Anakin, and I really wish that we got more of it. But like the impression I get, and like there's like literally like a phrase somewhere towards the end of this book is that like if he's not with Padme, then he's with Palpatine. Like
Yeah.
having a Sith Lord just whispering in your ear for 10 years might
gonna
fuck
fuck
you
you
up.
up. It's gonna and Sabe, she's just doing a great job.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, that one took like a
fucking-
full 4 seconds to tee up.
Jesus.
Some of them are on a delay. Sabe, she's doing such a great fucking job. Like she hates it, as would we all. She's going to fucking like social events and shit, trying to pretend to be someone else for extended periods of time. She does not work in politics, and suddenly she's a senator. But in comes our least favorite fucking Sith Lord. And
Indeed.
like just pulling all of his strings, he's like, ah, fuck. So he whispers a little something into her ear, and like, why you gotta fuck her up like that?
So rude.
It's not necessary. And like, listen, we talked about their friend breakup earlier. As somebody who is invested in these characters, like for her own mental health, she absolutely needs that friend breakup to happen. Because that at that point is just like a lot of emotions. But like bad ones, like unrequited love bullshit. Like you cannot keep that up. And like I think that again, she does need to do that. I don't love that she didn't just come to that decision on her own. Like she would have gotten there. Like she's fucking met Anakin. He's the worst. She's listened to her best friend in the fucking world / lover. They get in the bed together. They're just like they're giggling like little girls, and I'm like, this is some gay shit, man.
There's only one bed. They
There's
were
only
roommates.
one bed. But like, her best friend's just telling her like, "Oh, I love this man so much. He is the love of my life, not you. Fuck off."
That moment
Also,
where
I watched
Padme
him.
is
I watched him
legitimately
murder a
like,
village.
yeah, I know. The moment where Padme is legitimately like, do you like Anakin? And Sabe's like, what the fuck? Like, no.
I see why you like him.
I know, right? I was like,
Which
great
is-
deflection, girl. You've been in politics a long time.
Incredible response. I don't know. It's sad to read a friend break up, but also I think that one of my issues, like I've loved, the handmaidens in this trilogy to date, and pretty much up until the end, until suddenly, after that like heavy emotional challenge of girl, I gotta go, she's just like, I'm gonna go back to Tatooine and immediately kiss this man, which, like, when they got to Tatooine, I was like, oh, this is gonna happen. Sure, they're undercover. There's only one bed. They're fake married.
They are. Oh
Did they
God, they
not-
are fake married.
They're fake married.
I
They've been
guess this
fucking,
whole time
though.
I read yeah, I thought they were sexually and definitely romantically involved.
Yeah,
the
they've
whole
definitely
time.
been fucking. But like,
Oh,
I see
yeah.
but I see your point.
But I'm
also.
like, I get it, but they were not fucking. She was like, oh, that was the first time they kissed.
Oh, I
Was
missed
at the
that.
end.
No, it wasn't.
I totally thought that they were romantically involved the
It
whole
said
time.
that.
No.
They fucked back in Queen Shadow.
Oh shit. Well, fuck me then.
Page whatever says you can't read. Okay.
Maybe I just was hopefully gay reading. I don't know, man.
Listen, who among us? Because that would be better.
Whenever,
This
whenever a
just
woman
kills,
has
like,
sex
my
with a man, Burr blacks out.
Oh, my friend retweeted something the other day. Shit, it was like a GIF or something, but just a very like kind of uninterested. I think it might have been a video, there might have been words, but it was just like me whenever women start talking about their boyfriends.
Love it.
Just ignore the past several minutes I spent building up to making my point because I can't fucking read.
No, it's fine. Honestly,
I
I feel
love
validated
you.
because I just thought I was dumb. I was like, sometimes I guess because I'm a fucked up like heterosexual person, I read sexual tension into scenes where they're not there, and I'm like, ew, why would they put this here? I don't like this.
Oh, see,
So
I'm
I
just
figured
very
this was the
gay
same thing.
and sometimes have problems with reading comprehension.
See, I'm just a
and reading
problem
between the
child.
lines.
I'm just a problem child, and I'm like, I know where the sex is in every book. I know where it is.
Okay, that was me growing up.
Yes.
I literally like could be reading a page, and on the very opposite page there could be one sentence that had one word that was mildly sexual. My brain would pick it up before I got to the
Oh man.
page.
I have never
No, I'd always
once
be like,
picked
I
that
think
up
it says that.
reading a
No, I can't
book.
find it. Oh, I'll get there, and then you get there, and you're like, oh, they did say that. Yeah, it's a problem.
This has never
It's-
happened to me.
It's fine.
Not to
I
give
just...
too much information about my life,
we're
but anyone
getting
who's
it
ever
checked
dated
out.
me would not be surprised by that.
Listen, I was just about
problem.
to say the chat that Ron and I are in with Kristen and Jess of Let's Be Able Town Pod is just all it is like I know where the sex is. That's the entire chat.
You gotta tell me if it's there because I clearly don't fucking read it.
Well, I did tell you it was there. Now you know.
Reading between the lines has not ever been a strength of mine.
Listen,
It's great that I'm on a book podcast.
You have other strengths and we love you for it. It's okay. Also, you didn't read this book twice and was just like, I swear to God, this is how this is what it says, Chris. Don't gesture at me. Going back to Palpatine for a hot second. So his point of view has kind of been like scattered throughout the books, and in addition to like other people's points of view. But I don't know if y'all talked about this when y'all read Queen's Peril, so I didn't get to ask the question. So Miranda's just like, I don't fucking know what we talked about.
I don't know what we talked about on the last fucking episode except gay shit. Like,
I mean, Miranda's here for the important bits. But what did just his specific point? I'm asking about his specific point of view because I know that Kate Johnson really her dream would be to write the Palpatine discovering evil book, a YA for Palpatine, which would be so wild to read. I would be so into that because that sounds so fucking weird to think about him as anything younger than whatever Ian McDermott is.
9,000 years old.
Yeah, really, really. So
You can totally read how happy she is to write this shit.
yes,
She's like, you
Yeah.
know what's really fun? Like, you know when you hear that expression that actors are like, quote, chewing up the scenery? It's like the same thing. You can tell that she's like, yeah, no, add another evil metaphor. Let's do it. Like, you can tell it's really fun. I said,
Yeah.
let's do it, and I didn't even use the voice. I don't belong on the pod
Do it.
anymore, but you get it.
yes.
Chris.
Chris is fishing around for the button. He looks
Where
very,
is it?
he looks
I can't find it, but that's bizarre.
he looks so perplexed right now.
I feel like
yeah.
Riverside might have taken some of our drops.
That's not very nice.
Oh fuck.
Some of
that.
them are definitely missing.
Well, anyway.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
it's definitely a reduced list. I don't know if it added anything to the book for me. I don't think that the book necessarily needed them, although, you know, like maybe the scene with Sabe to kind of build that into the fall of their relationship, but we all know how I feel about that. I did, however, very much enjoy them.
I was just finishing the book before the pod, and I was just like, just Palpatine is his anger pet rock that he like fucking blasts with lightning and stores his rage inside of like a normal, just a little rage battery. Like I'm just like, what's happening?
It's
Well,
the opposite of when my therapist tells me to pet Argos.
God, yes.
When he got
Sorry.
mad at the end, boy, I loved that. It was like all of his scenes were so fun.
Yes.
Like evil fun, but like, I had a great time. I don't think they needed to be there, but I don't care.
Yeah, same.
They were worth it.
I agree. Ronnie, you're going to say something else, I feel like.
No. Just thinking about petting my dog and angry rocks.
Isn't that just Tatooine?
Just my life.
I'm just gonna. I want to pet the Rancor and
It's
be
just
mad at
angry.
Sand.
It's Angry Sand Planet.
Angry was once a rock. Ha 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 ha! Geology.
The rock has eroded over many years.
Oh my god! Stop. Y'all, I never took Earth Science because I went straight from Catholic school into like a magnet school for smart people. And
You
so,
don't need fucking
which-
science.
yeah, so they just so I just skip so they like skip so they skipped over Earth Science, which was supposed to be like freshman science, and stuck us straight in biology. So I don't know how the Earth works.
It's okay. Neither do people who took Earth Science.
That's
Tectonic
true, too.
plates, man. There's 3 kinds of rocks. There's lava. That's all you need.
Cool. Like it's just
I
like
went to a
don't-
math
yeah.
and science charter school, and we
Yeah.
did a lot of Earth Science, and then I had to take what was labeled as an Earth Science class in college that was supposed to be about climate change, but then they ended up going into like how climate works on other planets. I was
Oh,
like,
that's fucking cool.
Oh.
it was fascinating, but do I remember the equations and shit? No,
Of course
No.
not.
no.
Oh, our Earth science was like, this is a rock.
In
It's this
like,
kind
middle
because
school,
it came
yeah.
from the volcano. Look, like 9th grade.
Great.
Well, I don't even know what that science class was called because we talked about like when your
That's not
eyes,
helpful for me.
your eye colors,
She's just gesturing.
that shit.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I wish you could all see the gesture that she's
No,
making
she's just
right
like-
now.
She looks like a fucking like air traffic like direction like thing.
We talked about hemoglobin at one point in that class. It was not just about like rocks.
Are you talking about cones and rods
No.
in your eyes?
No, I meant like the eye color. Like if your
oh,
mom
eye
has
color.
these eye
Oh, not seeing
colors.
color. Oh, like you did like Punnett squares or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I got in trouble in high school for doing a Punnett square about eye color because it turns out it's polygenetic, so Punnett squares don't work.
Yes, that is true.
I
I don't
didn't
know.
fucking teachers that.
I was
Fun
y'all. I don't know how many layers the Earth has, but I'm great at bio.
A lot. There's rocks that come from lava.
How can you not do that in the 21 Savage voice when you say that? How can you not say how many layers does the Earth have? A lot. Like how can you not? I didn't do it right, but you know how do you not take that chance? The opportunity.
Listen, I don't listen to things. I'm also tone deaf.
Not you. That was to Burb.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh,
I know you're tone deaf. We know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You've
Fucking
never
great.
heard that song? It's old at
Probably
this
not.
point. You never heard people like a lot. No, a lot.
No.
Okay, that's fine. I'm the only one. It's okay.
I don't.
Ron is cooler than us.
Argos knows. I'm not a lot. No, I'm kidding. I'm not. It's fine.
Chris just put on the
Can I-
side
can I
Earth Stroll like
interest you?
onions. No.
Can I interest you
No.
in some like 90s pop rock?
Oh Jesus.
Oh Jesus, no.
I mean, maybe because like now, I guess what was '90s pop rock then is I don't know. Like I'm okay
No,
with
that's a
grunge.
decade.
A decade.
It's not
What?
different now than it was then because it's still 90s.
No, I'm thinking of what survived like nowadays from the
Oh.
'90s, because I feel like, I too was alive in the '90s, but yeah,
Listen,
'90s pop rock I guess is fine.
It's good stuff.
I'll
It's
allow
fun.
it. I was
It's
thinking
easy.
of like '90s pop, like Madonna, not for me, but
Oh, fuck me up with the Spice Girls any day of the week.
yeah, no, it doesn't do it for me.
That's fair enough.
I was obsessed with the Spice Girls as a child.
course it's
It's
obviously.
not a
Word.
surprising fact.
Why do I remember the day?
What do you want to talk about on this entire pod, Burb?
I remember the day
Gay.
that it was announced that Jerry left the band.
I did not know there was a Jerry in the Spice Girls.
Mm-hmm.
Hallowell.
I have an
She's
uncle
a
named Jerry,
Ginger
and I just
Spice.
picture his face.
Yes.
And I was like 5 years old when that happened.
She's,
Maybe
Oh my
4.
God.
she's not Ginger Spice. Isn't fucking
Yeah, she
Victoria
is.
Beckham Ginger Spice?
No, what
No,
the
she's
fuck?
posh
No,
Spice.
Get out of
Those
here,
posh
man.
What the
Spice.
fuck are you doing?
Whatever.
What the fuck
Be
are you
gone,
doing?
Whatever.
Do you even know what a
Whatever.
ginger is, Chris?
Be gone, man.
Like that one should be like I understand not knowing the ones based on the way they dressed, but like hair color should be obvious.
Come the fuck on.
You're really overestimating my memory of all their hair color.
I mean, she's the only one who's still like very well known. No offense to the others, but like
Emma
Yes.
Button
she's the only one who
has been a
stayed in
judge
the
on
public
some
lens
things.
all the time. Yeah, no, they've
Oh.
been in things, but she's
Yeah,
the only
but,
one
like-
whose like face has stayed in the public zeitgeist
Yeah.
for that long.
It's
Emma
true.
Button has
So it
done.
has changed a lot.
Oh my god, burp.
She was on a she was on a I saw this. She was a judge on one of those shows.
It's okay.
And
Sorry.
is Mel B a Spice Girl too?
Yes.
Yes.
That
So I
Scary
remember she's
Spice.
been in a bunch of stuff.
That
yeah.
wasn't
Mhm.
racial at all, calling her Scary Spice.
Right, exactly. I was like, that's the only one
Yeah,
whose name I
they
remember.
they like dressed her up in leopard print in the movies and stuff, and I was
That
like,
was
this
so
is
bad.
Listen, they workshopped Black Spice and people didn't like it. Okay.
I still,
What is it, a
Chris,
Power Ranger
Chris-
now?
Chris, you
Yes.
don't get. Oh my god, actually though, Chris, you don't get to talk about Spice Girls anymore. Just go away, go away.
Right,
gone.
you thought Victoria Beckham was Ginger Spice.
Fuck me.
Which also doesn't it? Ginger Spice just sounds like a cookie.
It. That's what I see. I didn't when I was a kid. I didn't know what a ginger was, so I was like,
Kate was too Bronx for that shit.
I like actually though. I was just like the shit my grandpa puts in noodles. Like I don't get it, man.
She
Oh
just
my
really likes
God.
ginger.
Yeah,
Don't
like
we
that's what I
all?
thought. Like really.
Loves building gingerbread houses.
Yes.
Right. Has a
Whatever.
little kick.
Definitely thought it was spicy.
Did we think we'd talk about Spice Girls and Palpatine? Probably not. Here we
You know,
are.
Here we are. Oh,
What would
okay.
Palpatine is the
Spice
scariest
Girl name be?
spice.
Here we go. Yeah, that works.
Sith Spice. Palpy Spice.
I was gonna say Rock Spice, but it sounds like a bad joke about
Pulp.
rock,
Aw,
so.
Pulp.
alas.
Pulp Spice.
Stop. All right, we're at the end here. Y'all want to roast me about the bird, so go on.
Oh my fucking god. The little bird person on the fucking ship. At one
Fuck
after
you.
after fucking Padme talks to the Nemodian on the hollow and like fucking Typho or whoever it is like trying to break into the shit because the droid locked her in there and like locked him in it, and they all come out and she's just going God, what was it? Was it
There's something violent. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it
Just
was
like
like-
absolute pyro,
like
just with
it
a
was like
blowtorch.
demolish or dismemberment. She
Yeah,
was chanting
dismemberment.
dismemberment.
Yes, that's it.
That, I'm not gonna lie, I did think of Kate when I read that. And then I
God damn
said,
it.
Oh, I was
like,
texting
no.
her. I was like, "Why is this you?"
I say this though in every book we read. I'm starting to always associate like the violent, slightly small, usually small enough, though not always, but always the violent, like unapologetically violent character as Kate.
I like to
This
perform
one is
It's
like-
like a nice type of violence. It's not like a psychopath. It's
No,
like
this one is especially
No.
Kate. It's so funny.
See, that's so nice of you because I really relate to Mr. Bones. You didn't read the Aftermath trilogy with us, Rana, but like he really is just he just
going through it.
he really does just want he's a reclaimed fucking B1 droid, and he just likes to murder. That's like he likes to murder.
And so you saw yourself in that character?
Yes, correct.
I hear it. I see it. I'm not judging. Like, this is not therapy time. I'm just like, checks out.
What Ipa was her name?
Ida.
Ida.
Yeah.
Ida and the fucking droid just fighting the whole time, just bickering.
The peas. That's
It is
something I
like
would do.
she's trying to get her peas off her shit, and the droid's like, you can't have dessert unless you've eaten your
And
vegetables.
she's just flinging peas at him. I'm like, that is absolutely something I would do. So
Does E.K. Johnson have toddlers? Because if so,
No.
I can totally
She has
see where
toddler
this-
nibblings.
yeah, that's
yeah, I feel like that's where that came from. That scene with the
Oh,
peas.
absolutely.
You can't tell me that didn't come from seeing real life situations.
right. Absolutely. I
It was
am.
real fun. I loved
It
every
is,
second
yeah.
of it. Every
I am
scene
the
she
small
was
bird.
in.
I am the small bird. Just angrily fixing my engine.
Rude.
Knocking down doors with blowtorches.
As you do.
She
It's
was
fine.
gonna get in, man.
All right, Chris, take us out. Do you want to sing the birdfish song?
Oh my
Just
god,
put it to
fucking!
music.
I was obsessed with that. Padme's like, "Oh,
This
that,
is catchy.
that unnecessarily, upbeat song about murder
yeah.
fish is kind of catchy, actually."
Oh my god.
Thank you for listening to this very special episode of the Book Wars Pod. Next week, we are going to be wrapping up Queen's Hope by E.K. Johnston. And then after that, we are going to be going back to the High Republic, reading The Rising Storm by Cavan Scott. So please join us. Go ahead and pick up that book if you want to read along with us. We're super excited. In the meantime, if you want to, have the means to give something, first and foremost, please donate to Transformations KC. Secondly, if you want to support us because you enjoy flushing your money down the drain, donate to the Tosh Station Radio Patreon or give us coffee at ko-fi.com. It really helps us cover our hosting and production costs. And as a reminder, we have a new $2 a month tier of our Patreon where you can watch Kate or myself streaming on, the YouTubes. Kate has already started streaming Horizon Burning Shores.
I haven't gotten to the gay shit yet, but I'm excited.
I've
Jedi
seen the gay
Survivor.
shit.
We're always excited. Jedi Survivor comes out as of recording 2 days from now. As of listening, probably like 3 weeks ago.
Thanks, Kristen.
So I'll be streaming that.
Bitch is on it.
So join us for that. And also just support our slush fund for getting toys and treats for Argos, Jasper, Orga, and Tony. Our
Tony
theme
does not
song.
pay his rent.
This is fucking tell me about it. Fucking freeloaders.
Fucking freeloader.
Our theme song, which is totally playing right now and hasn't been added in post, is Whiz Bang by Poddington Bear. Our logo and artwork are by Joe Butera Design, and our audio and production on this flawless, error-free episode were done.
We need
By
an air
me.
horn.
I think I have that one.
Do you?
Maybe.
Do
It's
you?
too late.
It's
I'm
over.
fucking doing it anyway.
Oh fuck me.
No, now it's just stopped. It won't play any drops now. So that's cool.
It's
Fucking
actually an
hates you.
act of God.
Yeah.
It's because Kristen thinks you're bad at them.
Kristen actually logged on and changed my settings.
He was like, get the
She
fuck
locked
out
me
of
out.
She's been removing one drop every time we fuck up, and we're just out of them now.
Yep. What a great time to note that we need a new producer.
Please help
As
us.
quality as this episode is,
This is a cry for help.
so if you are interested or know someone who's interested and has audio editing experience, please tell them to hit us up on Twitter or over email at bookwarspod@gmail.com. Thank you
won't
so
get
much.
paid, but you get to drink with us. So.
It'll be great exposure. Thank you
Fuck
all
off, Chris.
so much for listening. For Rana, Kate, Miranda, Kristen, Orca, Jasper, Tony, Argos. I'm Chris. We'll talk to you next week.
Fuck you, Chris.
Are we just all gonna be imitating drops now?
I really
I think that
hope
would be a
not.
great idea.
I would have to
Oh.
hear it again to know how to imitate it.
I don't like you either.
Yes.